Hey you guys, okay, so today we're talking all about eyebrows. I'm gonna be doing mine with you guys, showing you a really easy way to do it and some complicated ways that you should probably avoid. I'm gonna be reviewing, kind of just trying a new line too, but kind of just really showing you guys what works for me that's so easy. Mine are not done. This has been a hot topic lately because I posted some like throwback photos on Instagram of Brad and I like 11 years ago, a wedding photo, and it's like, I made some reference to eyebrows, and no joke, you guys, eyebrows really can like make or break your whole face, okay? And I mean, look, mine are like, they're very dark, they're a little wiry. I think we get used to the trends, right? When I was like, oh my gosh, like in the 2000s, like everybody, and you guys told me you kind of did the same thing, right? Like where we over tweezed them. That's why mine look, this one is a little sad still. This one's a good one. See, like this one, it has nothing on it. Look at this one. This one's so good. But here's the thing. If I comb it up, it looks like junk, but that's another trick too. Comb it to the side. Did I at some point use this to brush out my mascara? Because I've got little black flakes. I think I did that when I was traveling not too long ago. Comb them out to the side for one, before you like make yourself completely go insane. But let me tell you, and I have a weird scar on this. It's just, you know, no, they're not exactly the same, but I think we can get in makeup ruts. I think that you can get used to doing something and you think it looks good, and it really doesn't. And I hate to say that, but I feel like that's just, the eyebrows are a prime example of that. Literally, how many years ago? Like early 2000s, whatever. I mean, my gosh, those photos of me from 11 years ago were horrendous. But I mean, they were so over tweezed, and not even that, but like I did this thing where I thought I didn't need any of this right here. I was just gonna make like a little, like where it looked like a hook, you know, like all this was gone, and this is what I'm trying, this is what I want so badly right there, which they filled in a lot. It didn't look good, and sometimes I think, you know, these trends that you see now, sometimes you do look at things where people have done their makeup and you're like, whoa, you know, it's a lot of eyebrows, or, you know, they're like combed straight up and it's like, hi. Maybe I'll look back at mine 5-10 years from now and be like, girl, what were you doing? But this is the natural state of my eyebrows. About 10 years ago, I started letting them grow in. I never tweezed them again. I've never touched them again. The hair on my face, like I have very good eyelashes, very black and dark. My eyebrows are very thick and dark and a little wiry. And naturally, when I was a kid, I had a unibrow. That's one good plus of over tweezing my eyebrows, is that I have not seen a unibrow in probably 15 years, which is wonderful. It does not grow back. Like I can't make, like right now, I haven't tweezed anything, so this is what my brows look like. Even when I had all that, I never have had hair right here. This is my natural shape. This is my natural arch. So that's good. They used to grow like really far down, and occasionally that's one place where I will have to like say, like maybe every like 3 months I'll see something like here, and I'm like, you don't belong there. So then and I think that's what tweezers should be, just if something is totally rogue and in a spot like where it shouldn't be, get that mess out of there. But I just think, you know, we don't want to really alter the shape of our brows too much, because I think nowadays we're all trying to like thicken them up and make them look huge, and I think that's kind of insane sometimes too. I've gotten more comments lately on how good mine look when I do this. So I'm like, I'm gonna show you. I use this very, very inexpensive CoverGirl brow pencil. I have used everything over the years. I've gotten MAC ones I've loved, Hourglass, all these different things. I've got this really Miracle Hourglass product that really, these are the only two things that I use on my brows. And I've used a lot of different things. A couple months back, I remember telling you guys, like I had totally ran out of a brow product I was using. I was using some MAC pencils. Totally ran out, thought that I had some, didn't have any. And I remembered that Urban Decay had sent me like this whole box of brow stuff, and I've just now gotten into it. I just wasn't excited about it, and I'm still not super into it. I'm gonna tell you guys why. What it did is it overwhelmed me. I looked at this box and it's like, you have this product, you have this brow blade product, you have this product, you have brow gels, and everything is in 7 different shades. Finding a brow product in the right shade and the right tone is so tricky, and I think that's what people get wrong the most. And for me, this was hard to find a shade, still hard to find a shade that worked well for me. So I was like, I'm just gonna go pick up a brow pencil from the store and get into those later. And found this CoverGirl one, and I really love it. It's just like the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and you know, pretty much like I said, every brand has this tiny little pencil, but it's really good. And I'm gonna talk about those Urban Decay things in a minute, but let me just show you how easy this is. Like I said, this is a good brow. I mean, it could be a little thicker, but like this one, I mean, I've got a lot going on, or a little less going on. With my brows, I think there's so many different types of brows. Mine are very dark. I don't want to darken them anymore. But all I want to do is soften the line around them and make them look softer and not so harsh. Because when they're dark and they're a little, you know, they can look a little harsh. Do you know what I mean? So I just want to kind of soften the line on the outside, make them look a little larger, and using a lighter color than your brows is what you want to do when you have brows like that. Now, if you have very, like say you're very fair, or even if you're dark-headed and you have, you know, very like lighter brows, and maybe they're just a little naturally thicker, they're a little more natural, or even if they are thinner and they're just, you know, a little lighter, you want to go for a darker shade. And think about it, you'll be more so filling in the middle. So when you want the middles to be darker, you want the outer edge to be lighter. For me, I don't fill in really the middle part, I just fill in the outer part, hence why I usually use products that are more on the blonde side rather than matching my actual brow hair, which is very dark brown. If I went around the edge with a very dark brown or even a black or a gray or something, it would look pretty intense. And for me too, the tone can get really out of control. A lot of times, I have an issue with ones looking too green. I have an issue sometimes they look too red or orange. So this one is an actual like really good tone. And what I do is I just start right here where I kind of want, you know, I don't want to do flat brows because that's just not the, you know, not the shape of my brows. But I just kind of fill in on the underside first. A good rule of thumb is that toward the middle, you want this to be a little lighter. Toward here, you want this to be darker, just because, you know, naturally a brow kind of fans out in the middle and looks a little thinner. So if you need to fill in any of the middle, that's fine. I just want to show you guys how easy this is, because like, and then I kind of go around the top too, because it's, you know, you see people doing a lot of really crazy steps and a lot of things to brows that you just don't need to do. And I love that with a pencil, you know, you can smudge it out. I think sometimes like with a powder, you have to work too long with it. It doesn't stay as long to me as a pencil. Pomades have incredible lasting power, but for me, you know, they're a little too harsh and a little too, you know, the edge is a little too harsh. I like a pencil because you can, you know, flip this over, which I love that it has that. It's just a very good one for about like, you know, you can find these between like $5 and $10, just depending on where you buy, you know, drugstore stuff or whatever. It's very thin, so you can, you know, kind of create, if you want to do just a little bit more in the middle, along the bottom. See, when you get a lighter color, you can, you know, that matches the tone of your brows, you can really kind of like go to town and like make them look a lot thicker. Do you see what I mean? You don't need them to be so, you don't need the product itself to be so dark. But this is like some days I'll just literally take it and just fill in that tiny little bit right there, and then just not do anything else. You can really just do whatever you want. Blend it out. I hate it when you see just like someone draw a line and draw a line. I mean, do whatever you want if that's the look that you like, but if you just did that and then blended it out, I think you'd get such a better result and you may not even realize. So that's that. And then what I do is I take this product by Hourglass. It's in Warm Brunette. It's the Arched Fiber Gel. Is this my new one or my old one? I have a new one over there. Yeah, this one's still okay. But it's the fluffiest, best brow gel, and if you can get it in the right color, I mean, it'll just change your life. It's so good. Sometimes I don't use the pencil at all. I'll just use this. So I just take it and I just kind of brush my brows, you know, to the side, kind of in the direction where you know, made your little brush strokes or your pencil strokes. And then right here, you know, I kind of pull that out a little. And it's got really good staying power. I mean, it doesn't make your brows feel like plastered on, do you know what I mean? So I think that's a really good result. I really like that. Let me tell you a little bit about, is this in the way? Sorry. Do this like in the point of reviewing this or anything, but I do kind of want to show you because I think some of the products are very good, but it shouldn't be so hard to find a good color, and it might not be hard to find a good color for you. But with these, they come in 7 different shades, and pretty much the lightest ones are Cafe Kitty and Taupe Trap. And so Taupe Trap, this is really the one that they list almost as the lightest color. It's pretty dark, and that's my point, is like I need some blonde shades. Like as dark as my brows are, I still go for blonde shades. This one you might think is a little lighter, and it almost is in the powder. The Cafe Kitty actually, it looks lighter, but when you look at the coordinating like pencils and the little pens, the Cafe Kitty is darker than the Taupe Trap, which is odd, but the powder is lighter. It's just, that's what I'm saying. It's just, it can be hard to find your right shade, whatever. I think in the powder, I would definitely use this. The taupe has that bit of more like of a grayish. Sometimes taupe can pull a little green with eyebrow products, but mostly I go for products that are described as like taupey or like a dark blonde. This one, the Cafe Kitty, is more like a medium brown. It's a little warmer. But I would start with a pencil. I wouldn't necessarily start with a powder. MAC has a product like this as well. This is Urban Decay's version called the Brow Blade, where like one side is a little bit of a pen where you can make those like microblading like brow hair strokes. And this one is in the shade Taupe Trap that really works for me. I think it's kind of nice to fill in little areas with this. I think that it can, this is probably my favorite product because I feel like it really does kind of fill in those little areas nicely. I don't like the little, like the microblading brow stroke look. I think like that, what I just did, or like at the bottom where you're kind of mimicking those strokes, that's good. But when you see it and it's like, and it literally looks like you just stamped brow hairs, I think honestly that's a lot more work because you're gonna have to fill that in every day to keep them from looking so stamped on. So see, this is good, but see, that's so much darker than the color that I used over here. I just think the trend is obviously like super dark brows, but yeah, the taupe is cool, and I think I would definitely use this like to fill in, you know, like that little scar or other little things. I think you could really get a good result. And then on this side, there is a little pencil, and this one is a lot darker to me, but what I don't love is that there's not a spoolie, because I have to have a spoolie to blend out a pencil. It's just too harsh. Do you know what I mean? So I do like this product a lot. I like that it has the pin. I think I could just do with the pin only. And then, you know, you could soften it with your powder, which does have a spoolie, but I really need a spoolie more so for, of course, use the lighter shade toward the middle. I need a spoolie more so for like pencils, I feel. And then I take the dark shade and I kind of put it right there. And you know, I feel like when you use an eyeshadow to fill in your brows, it really lasts better if you put it over a pencil or over like a wax. But I don't ever really like to use those products that have like the wax, and I think it's just a lot. So that looks pretty. So that's good. I just don't want to use a whole ton of products, you know what I mean? In the lighter range, they do have like sort of an auburn, I think it's called Ginger Snap, that has, you know, more like reddish tones, which is good. This is actually cool too. It's the Brow Endowed, so there's like a primer. I'm in no way, like, I mean, I've literally had these for months. Like, I know it sounds like I'm like, let me review these. I really don't care. I'm just trying to show you guys how, honestly, I think a lot of this is unnecessary. Okay, that's my point. Some of it's very good, but it shouldn't be that hard. I just feel like there's so many different colors. Like they should have done a lot of like lighter shades as well. I have dark brows, and the lightest shade I can use, and it's like if it were any darker it wouldn't work. If someone is very fair and has like lighter brows and they don't have like pretty dark brows to start with, how would a blonde person do this without looking like, bah? I mean, I get it, like you could do it, but I just think you have to be way too careful with it. I don't know, I just think there should be some blonde products too. Even Anastasia and like Benefit and stuff like that, they have a really good range of, like lighter shades too. The so Brow Endowed, and this is a primer and a color. And let me tell you guys, if you really want to like thicken up your brow, like so you could put this on, okay? We're just going to town. I see how it really makes your brows look light. It kind of very much lightens them. And all of the shades, even the darkest, has this light primer. So if you are really gonna like use a gray or a black, or you were really gonna like darken your brows, and you were gonna use this, it's, you know, I mean, it'd be kind of hard because I mean, it lightens the brow, and then you have to put so much of product over it on the other side that's actually the tinted color. And this is again in the Taupe Trap, right? Is that what I'm using? No, this is the Cafe Kitty. I'm sorry, the Taupe Trap in this one was so dark, and the Cafe Kitty works for me. But you do have to apply a lot of it to cover that primer, and you may not think you have to, but if you get really close, like I have a really intense mirror, you can see, you know, like if you put primer on your eyelashes, you can see it kind of looks like you've smeared foundation on them or something. So you put this over it, and this like actually darkens your hair. I mean, I feel like this makes your eyebrows feel like so on and makeup-y. And I just think, I used it on my brows the other day just by itself to be like, oh, well, could I just get away with using this and nothing else? And, oh crap. And yeah, I pretty much could. And it was a little dark. Oh, good Lord almighty, what happened to you? See, that's like the lightest shade. Like I said, the taupe sometimes on their site is listed as the lightest. Of course, the auburn I don't really consider kind of in that range because auburn's very specific. You have to have like more red toned hair to even use that because the products that are the auburn toned in this, the ginger snap shade, is very orangey red. So, so it's just a little different. But this is the lightest one. Okay, the Cafe Kitty is definitely the lightest in the Brow Endowed, and that's pretty dark to me. And I feel like sometimes it can make you look a little angry. It can make you look a little harsh if you do it too dark, but I think we just get caught up. But I really do prefer this. I think this just looks so much better. Like up close, it is not good. I mean, you could look and say, oh, that's great. It's very makeup-y, very harsh up close. I'm gonna remove it and do the same as the other side because I can't handle it. And like no shade whatsoever. Like I just wanted to use it and just show you guys how, to me, this whole line, this Urban Decay line was a little just kind of, because I feel like it needs lighter shades and I feel like it's just too complicated. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't need that many things. And it's interesting to me when I think about brow trends and stuff, like I said, you don't realize what things really look like. Maybe 10 years from now, we'll look back and be like, what were we all doing? I feel like mine are kind of a good little in-between where I'm not doing anything crazy to make them look different. They're just my brows. They're just a cleaned up version of what my natural brows would look like. I would like this is what they would look like if they grew in nicely. And you know, like, but that's the one thing that bothered right there. This one is better. This one is like a little bald right there. But because I have that scar and everything, that's part of it. But that's my main thing is like, I want them to look smooth and soft. I don't want them to look too aggressive. Did I wipe off all my makeup with that? Probably not. It's gonna look like all red around it. I just feel like, for me, I can get, and let me show you, I mean, I can get pretty much the same result with a good pencil and a good just simple brow gel. Lately I have been using this like thinner pencil, and I think the MAC pencil I was using before this, for years I've loved that MAC Lingering, or what shade do I use? Is it Lingering? I think. And you know, it's in a little thing like this. I also like the ones that are larger that look like a, you know, kind of like a wedge, you know, like they're a little slanted. Those are nice too, but sometimes for me, I just find that these, gosh, they're like not transferring as well now because that makeup remover wipe. But I just find like these sometimes can just be quicker. I can make little hair strokes with it. You know, you don't need a pen, you know, to make those little brow strokes. You can use this. So I think if I were gonna say what I prefer, while I do go back and forth, and sometimes I use those larger brow pencils that are angled, and those can give you a real soft, nice look too. I think you can get that same look with this, with a tiny little pencil, a little skinny pencil. But you can also do like the little hair strokes with these too. And the only place I really like to do that is like where it looks like I have a little gap, or like maybe right in the middle, you know, just a little something to soften it up. I feel like it's quick, it's easy. I don't even have to use the little gel at the end, but I like to. And I think it's kind of interesting because right now I feel like the trend in brows is the microbladed look. It's almost like you want to look like you've drawn on, you know, and I watch these videos like on Instagram, like where people are doing brows, and it's like they do those marks or they draw a line, and I'm like, blend that out, blend that out, blend that out. And they don't want to, they like want it to look like that, you know? And I think it's fun to take care of your brows, get them in a good spot so that, you know, you can sort of have some fun with these brow trends if you want to make them darker, if you want to fill, but just don't do anything like I did years ago. Thank goodness. That's like not what people are dealing with right now, where you feel like you have to have like no brows. I don't know what that was about, but you know, I think that you can kind of like just take care of them, get them in a good spot, and then you can kind of just have fun with them. This is so nice. I feel like it softens them, it smooths everything together, it makes them look fluffy. I don't even know if you can get your color right in this, which the Hourglass products I do feel like do a really good job of like tones of brow products. And this is again the Warm Brunette. I think, is that what I used in the pencil too? But And it says it's a fiber gel. I never noticed any fibers, which thank goodness, because I'm not really into that. I don't like looking like you've got stuff, you know, stuck to your brows. I think that's a good little routine now, and it's like, you can get this for like $5 to $10, like I said. I think normally you can find it for like maybe $6 to $7. I bought mine for like $5. I think it was on sale or something. But the CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil, really any brow pencil you can find. This is a good one. This is just a good example of one in the right tone. This one really stays on well. And I am glad that I found this one. I just wanted to share the love because brow products is something that I go through a lot, like I have to repurchase, especially these little ones. I'm telling you, these little guys do not last long at all, especially if you're filling in your brows every day. It's just a tiny little pencil that wears down so fast. So if you can find one that you can pick up at the grocery store when you're there that is cheap, then girl, like, you know, do that. But if you can find your color in the Urban Decay, that's great. For me, I just feel like you almost have to use these products together. I can't use just powder only. I have to have something with staying power that's gonna stick. I can't use a brow pencil that doesn't have a spoolie. I feel like you need a spoolie. This one didn't have that. For the price, you know, you should, I mean, I thought, what if you could like pull it out or something and there was a spoolie on the other side, but you can't. You know, it does have the little, like, liquid part to the end, which is nice to have if you're really gonna fill something in. Sometimes I like to use that, but I don't know, maybe I'd rather just like to have a different product because I never would use the pencil on the other side. So maybe just buy something that's on its own. I think, like I've said, MAC has some of those. I don't know. And then this, the primer and the color just felt like a mask. It felt like a really hard mask and it was just too makeup-y. So I think that you can find things, get the whole, you know, good result that you want without using so many things, without making it a big to do, you know, like I feel like it's easy. I hope you guys will find something that works for you and that you'll have some fun with your eyebrows and that you'll embrace the ones that you have and try some different things because you can really change your look with it if you're not looking, if you feel like you look a little harsh, if you're just not loving the way that they look, change up the color a little bit, change up something, use a softer color. You may be so surprised what happens when you use a softer brow color, and that's kind of been my experience. So, love y'all so much. Hope that you have an amazing week, and I will be back here again on Friday with a really fun video. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye, y'all.